So, hi everybody, and welcome to the course Financial Data Analytics for the winter semester 2021 and 2022. So, in this video, I just want to give you a short introduction, what to expect from the course, where you can get the course material, and also some basic information regarding how you can succeed in the course and how you're going to be graded in the course. Before we talk about anything of this, you can see here how you can get the different course materials. First of all, you can access the Elias course, which will basically contain the slides that you can see in these videos here. We also work with Python examples for analyzing data, and usually you can find these examples in a Google Collaboratory file that is linked here. If you can click on this, and this will guide you to the folder. Also, the link to this folder is given in the Elias course. And then you can also, or you should also, go to the Stud IP course as well, because here it's likely that you will find, for instance, the Zoom link that will guide you to our meetings that we will have every Wednesday at 10 a.m. But also you can go directly to the meeting by clicking on this link here. Then in the course, how are you going to be graded? We are doing something which I think is important with respect to basic understanding of the theoretical concepts of the methods we're using here. But I also strongly believe that it's really important for you that you learn it with a so-called hands-on approach, which means that you should be able, after going or participating in the course, that you should be able to conduct the analysis that you've seen here by yourself. And this is also what I want to make sure with the project assignment that you will have to do for this course. So overall, your final grade will consist of 2 tasks. The first task is a short exam that we will do in the end of the semester, and we will do this via the Elias course. This is probably going to be weighted for your final grade with about 30%. But like the major part that drives the grade you're going to get will be given by the project assignment, and within the assignment you will have to do certain tasks to show that you are able to conduct all the things you're doing in the course here by yourself, and not only that you're able to conduct all these methods and apply them to data, also that you're able that you interpret the results in the right way, also using your knowledge about finance or in the business administration area. This also is going to be graded in the project assignment, which consists of different subtasks. At any time during the course, you can contact me via email, which is given here, or of course we can talk in Zoom meetings or after the Zoom meetings if you would like to have an individual conversation. Well, as you can see here, we will do 3 broader topics in the course, and all more like from an introductory perspective, because I'm aware of it, that we are in the bachelor degree here, and it's not important for you to really dive deep into the methods we're doing here, but it is important that you at least gather some fundamental knowledge about the things. From a broad perspective speaking, we will take a look at the most popular methods in the area of supervised learning, unsupervised learning, and also what I believe is, because the first parts here are related to the use of quantitative data, like all the numbers that you can imagine, for instance, about companies. But often important information is also given via textual information. So within texts, reports that are released by the public or by the firms themselves. So this is why I want to give you just a short introduction about text analysis, which helps you to transform the information that is given within texts into some numerical form, which then can be processed also by the methods that you have been learning here in the first part of the course. there are so many models that I think it's not really a good approach to try to tackle all the methods that exist. I believe it is more important that we take a look at some different forms of the methods or some basic forms, and here train how to approach such methods so that you gain the competence that you are able to learn new methods by yourself. This is like more the aim that we have here. We do this by visiting like basic approaches in the area of supervised learning that you can see here, linear or like regression type models for regression problems, for classification problems, for multi-classification problems. We also take at some kind of different approaches, which are tree-based models, or very powerful approaches, which is ensemble learning. And also we will take a quick look how neural networks, or like the most common or basic form, or not the most common, but like I would say the most basic form, which is a forward neural network in the course. And then also unsupervised learning, which means there's not a real target given here, but we want to learn something about the structure of the data. And here we will take a look at clustering by one example of how we can do clustering, which is k-means clustering, and also dimensionality reduction, which is a technique that is very important, and especially if it is combined with other methods that you will visit in the course here. So anyway, we will go here more into detail in the next videos, but what are we going to do, or what is financial data analytics? Because I think there's no real common definition to this term. Everybody understands something else, or something which is driven by its subjective beliefs and knowledge. So I would say for me, financial data analytics means that we have like some form of computational activity, which is usually driven by the methods of statistics and math, in order to systematically analyze financial data, but with a certain aim, not only maybe to aim to predict something, but also to learn about the relationships that we have in the data. And this knowledge maybe then can be used for doing other decisions, or for making other decisions which support like the business itself, or whatever you're interested in a financial context. What I think is you need to succeed here in this field is you need certain sub skills. One skill is obviously that you are able to use software appropriately. That helps you to analyze data. And by software, usually it's, like a programming style like Python or R, which is quite user-friendly nowadays, but which really needs you to understand what you are doing here. So first of all, you need to become familiar with this, but I think some novice level is enough to already start making really good analysis here. Then I think what you already should have, but what is important for all the methods we're doing here, is some basic knowledge from statistics and from math. During your first semesters, you probably all had to do 1 or 2 statistics courses and a math course. And I'm very confident that all you need for this course here has already been taught to you in these courses. But just to make sure, you really need I know that this is sometimes not very appealing to students, but you really should be aware of this. That it's really important to at least have the basic knowledges about probability theory, for instance, or linear algebra, but also from analysis calculus. You should be able to compute a derivative, for instance. You should know how to optimize a function, and so on and so on. Then, of course, if we want to analyze data, we need to know how to collect it and how to handle it. What I mean with handling is like to pre-process it, which makes it easy for the methods that we apply to it. And then only after we have done this, we can conduct really the modeling part, so estimating a model, analyzing the results of a model, and then draw our own conclusions, what this means for the things we're interested in. And of course, and also this is something which is very important for you as a student from the economic area, it is important that you combine your economic understanding with the things you see from the analysis, because this is what really makes a difference for you, and where you as a student from this area may have an advantage in comparison to other students which are already able to do this, like from the first three knowledge areas here. So but this is really an asset, so be aware of it, that it's not something that everyone has, like an economic understanding and intuition, and just use it wisely. Okay, I try to wrap this up and really make it quick, but this should be or what's supposed here is that it should motivate you. And so first of all, I know especially students from the area of economics, they all often worry about the programming aspect of the course. So do not worry about this. You will get a lot of examples, and there are many great introductory tutorials, not only that are given from me to you, also you can find, for instance, on YouTube or other channels. If you are really willing to give this a chance, and if you're motivated, then I'm really confident that you are going to succeed here quite quickly. And what should be motivating to you is you do not have to do this by yourself from the beginning on. I will always give you some data. I will always give you some examples, some coding examples. So your competence should here only be that you are motivated, that you really read the introductions, and that you try to understand the code that is given from me to you. Because by doing this, you will learn about it and then start this as a basis to do your own analysis. And here in the beginning, there will be many errors, there will be many mistakes, but just take some time, Google the sources for the errors and the mistakes you're experiencing, and by that you will really quickly become better, more experienced, and then at some point in time you will see that this is really no obstacle and no problem at all. Regarding math and statistics, as I said, not really attractive many times to students, but it is really necessary. And the good thing here is that it's really enough to know about the really basic stuff that you learn. So if you are able to work to do matrix calculations, to calculate derivatives and so on, this is all you're going to need for the course. So it's really there is something, and it's really fundamental knowledge that is necessary, but you don't have to be really mathematics experts or statistics experts to understand the methods we're doing here. And just if you have the feeling that your knowledge is not enough, go back to the fundamentals of math and statistics and try to recapture them, study them. The fundamentals, they are enough, but they should be here. So data collection, also visualization or descriptive analysis of data is, I think, often underestimated. Its importance. Collection nowadays is also quite easy. There are many web pages with the aim to provide really good examples of data that you can use for learning the methods we're doing here. It's also nowadays quite easy to gather own data by many different application programming interfaces that exist today, but also you will learn about this in the course. And I try also to capture the descriptive part and the visualization part in all the examples that we're doing here. I just want to point out that I really think that this is really important. This is something that you would be worth to spend more time with, but this is unfortunately the time that we do not have in this course. But if you're really interested to doing more here, then I could recommend you another course by us. This is data analysis and digital reporting with Python. Even though if you're not able also to do this for your studies, you will have the access to this course. Just go to the Elias course, and then you have free access also there, and you can get some additional information for this topic. Data modeling. This is obviously the most popular and the part people are most interested in, because today there are really many different ways of modeling data, usually with the aim to predict something, and there are really some fancy models with great performance. Obviously, this is really quite cool, and we are going to do this. But what I also want to point out, what's really important for us, and also especially this is really an important characteristic in the financial area, is not only to have a good model which generates great predictions. We also want to understand where these predictions stem from, which are the most important drivers for our predictions. So what are the most important factors driving certain results in the financial area? This is really sometimes more important than the outcome, so the prediction itself. And just be aware of this, and I try also to highlight this during the course and during the examples for the course, that we are, it's not sufficient just to generate great prediction result. This is really not sufficient, because more important is also understanding what drives the predictions and how the good prediction results occur, or why, by what factors they are driven the most. So, this is more or less the end of the introductory part. Just here you can see information where you can get a Python introduction, which I really would like to motivate you to take a look for yourself. Here you can find a link, which is really a great Jupyter book written by one of my co-workers. And this should be your first task. We also talk about this in our first Zoom meeting, but something that you can already do at this point in time is take a look at this link and study it at least to a little degree, and try to become familiar with this right from the start. Try to install Python as explained in this link, such then we can start really after the first lectures directly by going into real world examples using real data, real Python code. And I think this makes it really more interesting and more easy also to understand all the methods if we really start with the examples right from the beginning. Okay, so this was the introductory part of the course. I hope it really motivates you, and if you have any questions at the moment, you're always welcome to contact me. But for the moment, that was it, and next videos we will dig deeper in the area of supervised learning models. So take care and see you in the next videos.